So, I think it's about time. Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. It is 2021 and we are starting things off in the Bedrock edition? Yes, we are here in the Bedrock edition of the game because we have another top 5 commands video. People have been commenting down below for ages and ages and ages. Can you do one for the Bedrock edition? Can you do one for the Bedrock edition? Well, yes I can. So here we are in the Bedrock edition of the game. I have 5 command block contraptions which you can just about see behind me that I will be showcasing in today's video. Now these command block contraptions will of course require you to get hold of a command block, and to do that you are going to need to be operated either on the world you are playing on or the server. Once you've got past that stage, all you need to do is run the following command. / give, then your player name. And then all we need to type in is command block. Pressing enter, we will see that if we jump around into first person mode, we now have a command block in our inventory, and that is all we will need to get ourselves hands on all of these weird random contraptions that I have come up with. So if you're ready, let's jump straight into things with number 1. Now for our first command, we are going to be summoning a whole bunch of creepers all of the way around us, completely randomly, so you can really scare your friends. So firstly, let's take a look at this in action. I'm firstly going to summon in a few creepers just like that, then I'm going to press this button here and you'll see they get spread around me. Now if I was in survival mode, well, this will be very, very messy considering he is right behind me, and then I've added one little button on the end just to kill all the creepers so they aren't wandering around my world and accidentally blowing me up. So how are we going to make this possible? Well, let me show you. The first thing we are going to need to do is summon in a whole bunch of creepers, and what I've done is I have a command block just here, and inside this command block I have a very simple command. Summon creeper ~1 tilde. This will summon a creeper when it's repeating and activated on the block above the command block. So they will all summon in on this block just here. Now to stop them spreading out, I've added a few barrier blocks, so they are going to be inside here, but they can't make their way out. That's just to make our life a little bit easier. Otherwise, well, you never know where they might end up. Now the most important command we have is the spread creepers. We need to be able to spread all of these creepers around across a radius around our player. So let's take a look at this command. This is an execute command, and we are executing at rover or whatever player name you choose. Now this is the person who's going to have this creeper attack, so obviously you don't really want to choose yourself. So execute at the player name ~, spread players ~1 30 at e type equals creeper. Now this will spread the creepers randomly around the whoever's name is just there in a certain radius of 30 blocks. Now this can be increased, but we want them all to be fairly close to the player, so it's a very nasty surprise. As a reminder, all of the commands in today's video can be found in the description down below. So let's take one more look at how this thing works. Let's summon in our creepers just like that. I'm going to summon in a few just there. Now we're going to spread the creepers just like that, and look at that. They go in a whole massive radius around us. As you can see, they get fairly evenly spread out, which is really, really nice, but always centered around the player. And then all I'm now going to do is just press the button just there to kill off all the creepers. Now, of course, you can change the type of entity that's being spread around. This could be a ghast or zombies. It really can be anything of your choosing. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I've summoned in a lot of ghasts, and now what we need to do is spread the ghasts, and as you'll see, they do get spread around. I mean, they are ghasts, and they do like to, well, fly off a little bit. And there we go, that was our first command, the creeper attack. Now for the second command in today's video, we are going to be making completely invisible creepers. Now this is one way to really scare your friends. Now, of course, there is one way to do this in survival mode. Say we found a creeper and we splashed it with invisibility. Well, as you'll see, it can't actually be seen, but there are those particle effects which we want to get rid of, so it's even more invisible and impossible to detect. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, we've got a similar setup as to we had for the previous command, where we have a command block just here and we have some barrier blocks forming a cage just above the command block. Now, this isn't technically what you have to do, but it's a very nice, easy way for us to demonstrate what's happening. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to summon in a creeper just above there. That is using, again, a simple summon command, which we showed off earlier. And our next command is going to be the command that makes this completely invisible without particle effects. So this command here, we're going to be making use of the effect command, and we are going to run the command effect at E, type equals creeper. Then we need to choose the effect, so we're going to choose invisibility. Then we're going to choose the length of time. I tend to put 5 nines. That will basically last forever. Then we're going to add the strength of invisibility. As it's invisibility, we only need to have 0. And then we need to add true on the end. That makes the particles invisible. So when we hit this button just here, we will see that creeper, it's there, but it is completely invisible. If I was to punch, you will have heard the noise just there of the creeper taking damage. So we definitely know it is just there. Then all you need to really do is you could either break this out and let the creeper wander out. I'm guessing he is left, but there is no way for me to tell. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear the effects from the creepers. To do that, all we need to do is do effect at E, type equals creeper, clear. And when we press this button just here, that's where the creeper wandered off to. He's just headed just over there. Now this will be a very mean way to prank your friends. Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, why not subscribe, as only a few percentage of people actually are. For the third command in today's video, we are going to be making a conveyor belt just like this. This might be an awesome way to display your items. Here we have an armor stand holding a diamond block, showing off my wealth in my bedrock survival world just here, and that is what we are going to be making. Now there are many ways we can go about making this, but I'm going to show you a very simple way that looks just like this. Now the first thing we are going to want to do, even before we start touching our commands, is choose 2 types of blocks. Similar to my design just here, I have chosen a block of netherite and red nether brick. That's all we need to do, but now what we need to do is actually lay out where we want our conveyor belt to go. So we're going to start off and I'm going to place down our first block. This will be the block that the armor stand is summoned in on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place down a few different blocks just along here. Now these could be any types of blocks you wanted. The important one is the red nether brick. Now this conveyor belt can be any length you wish. Now I'm going to place down 1 red nether brick at the end. Now it is time for us to set up our first command. Now for this command block contraption, we are going to be needing the 4 command blocks, which you can see just there. So in our first command block, and we're just going to run into this command block just here, we're going to run the command execute at E, then we're going to use square brackets, type equals armor stand, comma, name equals move. And then we're going to close it off with another square bracket. We're going to follow on from this with 3 tildes with a space in between, then detect, and then we're going to go for 2 tildes, and on the end of the second we're going to put -1 followed by another tilde. This is where we need to write down the block ID of the block you have chosen. So for me, that is red nether brick. So for me, I need to type red underscore nether underscore brick. Now all we need to follow on from this is 0, and then we're going to run the kill command, kill at S. And that is all we need to do for our first command block. Following on from our repeating command block, which we are going to now set to always active, make sure it's on repeat and unconditional. We're going to have another command block coming out of that. That is going to be a chain command block. We're going to change this to chain, conditional, and always active. The command in here we're going to run is summon armor stand, and this is where we're going to choose the name of our armor stand. I'm choosing move. And now what we need to do is we need to choose the coordinates of where it's going to be summoned in. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to head to our red nether brick just over here. And we're going to go and take a look at what our coordinates are. And I've got them on the top of our screen. For us, that is 90, 67, 226. And that is our chain command block completed. Following on from that, we're going to add one more chain command block, which is going to follow similar settings. That is going to be chain, conditional, and always active. Now this command here is optional and we can change it to whatever we like, and we can add more chain command blocks further on if you'd like to. This one we're going to be choosing what we want our armor stand to be holding. This can be any item in the game. Now our command in this command block is going to be replace item entity at E square brackets, and then we're going to follow this by type equals armor stand, comma name equals move. We're going to follow this by slot.weapon.mainhand. After that, we're going to have a 0, and now we get to choose the item we want our armor stand to be holding. Personally, I'm going to go for a dirt block. And there we go, that's our first line of command blocks completed. Now all we need to do is add one more command block. I'm going to place mine down just here. This one again is going to be on repeat, unconditional, and always active. This is going to be one more execute command, and this will be actually moving our armor stand. Execute at E, type equals armor stand, name equals move. And then we're going to close our bracket. We're going to follow this by 3 tildes, then TP at S, tilde, 0.1, tilde, tilde. Now you will have to change the position of that 0.1 depending on which direction you would like your armor stand moving in. Taking a look at the coordinates in the top of our screen, you'll see the X coordinate is going up when we fly in this direction, and that is the direction our armor stand is going to be moving in. If however we wanted it going in the opposite direction, we'd put minus 0.1 on the end. And if we were going in this direction, so we are going on the Z coordinate, this direction would be a 0.1 on the end of the last tilde, and if we're going in the opposite direction, it would be minus 0.1. So now all we need to do is we want to build up our conveyor belt just a little bit. I'm going to place a couple of blocks just here. Now we must remember to break the block underneath, otherwise when the armor stand is summoned in this position, it will automatically die straight away, and that is not what we want. We must remember, however, to keep the one on the end, otherwise our armor stand will fly off forever in that direction. So we can make something looking just like this. Now to start off this system, because currently nothing is happening, all we need to do is place down an armor stand, and this armor stand we want to get a name tag and name it to move. And you'll see that it starts moving in the opposite direction, and then when it gets killed on the other end, it spawns back in, now holding the block we wanted it to be holding. And there we go, that is our very simple armor stand, and this can be duplicated over and over again. You can just give your armor stand a different name each time and replicate the following commands. Now staying on the theme of armor stands, we are going to make this. Now you might be looking at this thinking, well, that looks pretty normal to me, I don't see anything weird with that armor stand, but when I start to move around, you will then start to notice that the armor stand is following us, and it will always be looking at you, which I think is quite creepy and might be a very cool little thing you could sneak into one of your builds to creep out some of your friends. Now to create this, we only need one command block, so let's get down to it. So placing down our command block, let's go inside and set this up correctly. We want this to be on repeat, unconditional, and always active. Now we're going to run the following command. TP at E, type equals armor stand, comma name equals, and this is where we can choose a name. I'm just going to call mine Watcher. And then we're going to close our square bracket. Now we've got to choose where we're going to have our armor stand standing. I'm going to have mine on the top of this block just here. So let's jump up on top, and we've got to work out these coordinates. That is 11968 for me. So let's go into our command block once again. And in this command block, this is where we're going to type in those coordinates. Once we've put in our coordinates, all we need to add on the end is facing at P. Now we can change this. This could be your player name, so it will only follow you, or if it's at P, it will follow the closest player to the armor stand. So now all we have to do is we can place down an armor stand wherever we like. It doesn't have to be on that position just yet, because it will get teleported there. We'll place down our armor stand, and now we're going to name it the same name we put in the command block, which for me was Watcher. And you'll see it gets teleported onto the right position, and as we move around, it is following our position, which is incredibly cool. Even if we go right up above it, you'll see it does quickly move around, following our position quite accurately. And of course, we can decorate this armor stand however we like. And there we go, I've decorated our armor stand with some netherite gear, and as you can see, it is quite creepy as we move around. That will always be following us, and so will that one over there, because they both have different names. Now it's time for one of my favourite commands in today's video. These here are jump pads of different varieties. When we go onto these jump pads, we will jump up at different heights. So that one there, that's a level 1 jump, I'd call that. And here we go, we have even higher, that is our level 5 jump. And look at that, we get shot right up into the air. We can see so far around, but what if it could get even stronger than that? Well, here we have the highest jump possible. This is level 255. And look at that, we get blasted right up, almost up to y equals 1000. Yeah, that's quite incredible. And then we get this really lovely view as we fall back down to the ground. We can see so far away because of the render distance on the Bedrock edition of the game. And we do keep falling for quite a while. So how can we go about making our own jump pads of any variety? Well, let's take a look. Firstly, what I've done is you need to pick a block. This block will be your jump pad, and this can be any type of block you like. This command block is set to repeat, unconditional, and always active. This is the command that we need to type. Execute at a tilde 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 detect tilde tilde -1 tilde. So we're detecting the block underneath to see if it matches an iron block. If it's an iron block and the block ID is 0, which all blocks are, we are then going to give the player effect at S, so we're giving just that player, jump boost 1, 1, true. So what do those numbers actually mean? We are giving jump boost for 1 second at level 1 with no particle effects. So that can easily be changed up. So here I have a gold block and this one is my level 5 jump. So I have changed the number just there to 5 instead of 1. And obviously I have changed iron block to gold block. Now I hope you have enjoyed the commands I have showcased in today's video, and if you'd like to see another video in the Bedrock edition of the game, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like and that will let me know to make another edition of this series in the near future. But all I have left to say is thank you ever so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here, leave a like as it really does help out the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.